Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Mark Morris. Today I want to talk about 4 vinyl purchases I've made recently and talk about the records a little bit. These are records I purchased online, but I particularly want to feature this first record I'm going to show from First Boy on the Moon. I've been following this band for a couple years now, and I just like them more and more. And it's fronted by David Pedraza, the songwriter, singer, and I just find it incredibly cool, and I love listening to the records. And this new record called Demons is no different. I love this record just as much as I've loved the last few records from First Boy on the Moon. You might say this album is divine. Yes, it's divine. First Boy on the Moon always has really great record covers. I mean, that's one of the things I love about LPs. You can really do great things with the art. But the music on here is, of course, the highlight. Just great songs. I was trying to think of how to describe them, and I was thinking, they describe themselves on their Bandcamp page, which I'll link to below, where you can buy the record. They describe themselves as like an 80s alternative kind of sound, which I thought was good. But then I was reading, this came with the album, kind of a little thank you note from David, and I read a line on here that I think describes it perfectly. This is designed to connect the dots between 80s inspired indie and moody melodic rock. And to me, that's a perfect description. I am terrible with describing music to people. There's a Billy Joel song where he says, you can't get the sound from an article in a magazine. That's kind of how I feel about talking about music. I can maybe get a general idea, but they have such a unique sound. It definitely has that 80s indie kind of feel to it. I think somebody like Brian from Embryonic Robot would really appreciate this album. I think most people who watch my channel would appreciate this album. But the good thing is, you can go to the Bandcamp site, you can stream the music there, or these songs are on YouTube too. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mention a couple of my favorite songs on here, and then I'm going to link to a couple of the songs I really love down below. Check them out. I think you're going to be impressed. On side 1, my favorite song is That Ship Has Sailed. That Ship Has Sailed. But the 2 songs I'm going to link to below are on side 2. I think side 2 is incredibly powerful. Side 2, there's not a wasted song on here. There's 10 songs, they're all great. Side 2 just seems to roll and has just a great sound and mood to it. But the 2 I really love, That a Boy, probably my favorite song on the record for now. It hit me quick, and I've been holding on to it. But Doomsday Twist is right up there too. As I listen to it more, that may change. You know how that goes. The production is even and lush. And look at this. Look at this vinyl. I guess I would call that either bone or eggshell, but it's really cool. And it is just a quiet recording, even in the spot between songs, just quiet. Sounds good, just produced well. You can turn up the volume really loud and not have a lot of distortion. Comes with the lyrics, which I love. The lyrics are, they describe them as cerebral lyrics. I like the lyrics, even if I'm not grasping exactly what I think David is getting at. There's a mood that is set by these lyrics and the tone of the song. Some of them have a melancholy feel to it. That a Boy is One of the reasons I like that song is because it's sketchy, but there's a melancholy to it that I really like. Here's another thing I like about this. David is a big promoter of the vinyl community, and he gives special thanks. And if you look closely, right around there, you'll see a special thanks to yours truly. So I appreciate that, David. I love seeing my name in the liner notes. So check out First Boy on the Moon, Demons. He's based in Sweden, so the shipping can be expensive if you're outside of Sweden, which I imagine a lot of you are, but I'm here to tell you it is worth it. And I love supporting these bands that you don't see everywhere. So thanks for that album, David. I just really enjoy it, and I've been playing it like crazy. The second album I picked up was actually a vinyl community inspired by. I can't remember exactly, but I think it might be Mike from the Vinyl Policeman. So thank you, Mike, for recommending this if you did. But it's Hindu Love Gods. You know, I'd never heard of this album. I'd never heard of the band. And so I believe it was Mike. He mentioned this, and I'm like, it went to the top of my list of records I wanted to buy. It is Warren Zevon with most of the members from REM, sans Michael Stipe. It was a time when Warren Zevon was recording Sentimental Hygiene, and he had the REM members play on his record, and they would have these late night recordings, and they would do these old blues songs, old cover songs, never intending to publish them. And apparently somebody on Zevon's side went ahead and produced these and put these out without permission, which caused some trouble from what I understand. I'm so glad it happened because this is such a fun record. I love Warren Zevon, I love REM, and it's an amazingly great combination of musicians. It's all cover songs, mostly old blues stuff. The one I would have you listen to is their cover of Raspberry Beret by Prince. It's just the Prince song, but with the Zevon spin on it. This is just a fun record. This came out in 1990. Really fun way to remember Warren Zevon, one of my musical heroes. But this is what the record label looks like. And I would recommend this record. Hindu Love Gods, and I think I'm thanking Mike from the Vinyl Policeman. The third album that I got is one I've been meaning to get on vinyl for a long time. My Vinyl Kinks records are anemic. I need to build up my collection. So I picked up Lola versus the Power Man, and this is the 1970 record by the Kinks. They had just come off their 5-year ban from America. If you remember, they had a 5-year ban for trouble with unions mostly, I think, and there was like some unprofessional concerts, some unprofessional conduct, not becoming of musicians, I guess, including like fist fights and stuff. This album, of course, has Lola on it, which was, a huge hit. And Ape Man is on here. This is an all-around enjoyable album. The Kinks, coming into the 70s, what's the full name of this? I always call it Lola versus Power Man, but it's Lola versus Power Man and the Money Gorund Part 1. It's basically a concept album revolving around the recording business. So great album, glad to have it. And then the final album I picked up is one I've been meaning to get on vinyl again for a long time. I had this album when I was younger. I got rid of it when I replaced it on CD, and so I just bought a reissue. I'm a little disappointed because it's not exactly what I remember visually. Their Satanic Majesty's Request, the Rolling Stones, sometimes called the Rolling Stones' answer to Sgt. Pepper, which you can agree with or not agree with. It is this Rolling Stones foray into psychedelic music. The thing I was disappointed in, when I was a young man, a young teenager, this was a lenticular cover, and I just thought it was so cool. And I was hoping the reissue would have the lenticular, but it's not. But it's still cool. I love the album cover. Some people said it was like a spoof on the Sgt. Pepper thing, but it's a really cool record. The design, you know, visually it's awesome. I think this is an American pressing, the London. I think UK it was on Decca. Fun album. It is not the greatest psych album in the world. Does it compare to Sgt. Pepper? No, different from that. Is it a good Rolling Stones record? Probably not, but I will tell you, it is very interesting. I love listening to it just because it is such an anomaly for the Rolling Stones. They never really did anything like this again. I think many of the members had some bad feelings about this album. I know Bill Wyman particularly was not impressed with the way this went. A lot of drugs. Their producer, Andrew Oldham, he quit. And so it's the first album produced by the Rolling Stones because they didn't have a producer or manager. It sounds like sometimes members would show up, sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they'd show up with a entourage of friends, and it was just a very chaotic scene. But some really good things came out of this. I still love 2,000 Light Years From Home. I still love that song. Oh, She's a Rainbow came off of this. But like I said, this is not my favorite Stones album. It's not even in my top 5 Stones album. But it's an interesting record to have. I don't know if I'd recommend it to Stones fans, but if you're a collector, this is a worthwhile record to have just because it is so odd and interesting. So those are my purchases recently. Particularly, please check out First Boy on the Moon, Demons. I think you'll like it. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to everybody again soon.